Today I just wanted to touch on the subject of Tommy Robinson, and specifically Tommy Robinson fans and supporters. Me personally, I support a lot of what Tommy Robinson says, but I don't promote racism by some of his fans. Some of the EDL members are downright racist, and it's sad because there's people like myself that was actually born in Britain with both mixed race parents that was also born in Britain, and we claim to be British, right? And we have the same goal. I was raised a Christian, and I'll stay Christian till the day I die, and Jesus is king. But on top of that, I love England and what England once was. England used to be a beautiful place where people could let their kids out safely to play on the streets, leave their doors open. And now it's become a place that is scary. Scary not for me, but scary for our kids. It's a place where you can't leave your children to roam the streets anymore because you might have fears of them getting touched by someone. You might have fears of them getting kidnapped. And it was never that bad back in the day. It was bad, but never as bad as it's been now. You know, there might be the odd grey pierced and there might be the odd madman, but it was never on the level that it is now. We've got people that come over to our country, they don't respect our rules, They don't respect our regulations, and they don't respect Britain for what it is. Goosebumps talking about this one, to be fair. I hate to see people pulling down English flags. I hate the fact that we can't talk about Christianity in public. I hate the fact that we can't spread our word and talk our truth, because speaking the truth will get you in trouble. Speaking out on another religion will get you in trouble. But here's the thing, this is England, it's not the Middle East, it's not Russia. This is England. But I've got a thing in my head where we need to make Great Britain great again. Because it's become a mess, a complete mess, complete carnage. And I'm not the only person who thinks like this. There's many people. So this is like just the general message. And I want to speak to Tommy Robinson's supporters. You're a white British male, fair play. I've got a lot of white British male friends. We come from a next generation to a lot of you guys. I'm in my 20s. We come from a different generation where we used to mix with different cultures and different colours and different ethnicities. And we never really see in colour until you got older and you see what it really was. This isn't a colour thing. It's a cultural thing. It's a religious thing also when it wants to be, right? So me as a British mixed race male, I have Jamaican blood, I have Irish, a lot of Irish blood in me and English blood. So I'm mixed. I'm quite mixed up. So does that mean I need to feel uncomfortable in my own country? Does that mean that I need to feel like people don't like me? White people don't like me, white people are racist. Not all white people, but there's a lot of white people that are like that and have that old school mindset. We need to break that mindset today because we have the same vision. That's why nowadays you will see black men marching with Tommy Robinson. You will see Asian British men marching with Tommy Robinson because they're not standing for the craziness that's going on in the world. I've got a lot of Muslim friends that are actually really peaceful brothers. And it's like, it's not their fault because they're uneducated and they don't know the truth. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about us lot uniting, and you can't judge a book by its cover. We're here to be united. That's why it's the United Kingdom, right? But one thing we can't tolerate is these people coming over here and disrespecting our law of the land. Coming over here and disrespecting and touching our women and making our women and our kids feel unsafe about getting on the streets. That's something that will not be tolerated. And we need to stand up as men for sure. But there needs to be a common understanding that we are in this together. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just speaking my truth now. Right? And like I said, I agree with a lot of what Tommy Robinson says. But there's obviously been things in the past and speculation in the past that I'm not going to like and I'm not going to agree with, because as a mixed race man that has Jamaican blood, does that mean you want me to go back home? The place I was born in Greenwich Hospital, South London. My mum was also born in Greenwich Hospital. My dad was also born in Greenwich Hospital. I grew up in South London. I moved to North London. I spent some time in Birmingham, I spent some time in Dudley, I spent some time all over the UK, right? And for years, I've suffered with racism and people saying to me, you bastard, you this, that. And I'm quite sick of it. We're in this together. I'm at a point now where I'm thinking of leaving Britain and finding a new place to call home. And that's not how it should be. We shouldn't feel uncomfortable in our skin and uncomfortable being who we are. God made us this way and that's the way we are. It's not just going to change overnight. You don't want to make people feel depressed and down and anxious about coming out on the streets, right? If you was born in Britain and you was raised in Britain, you share the same morals and values, you are British. British no longer means white male. British can mean mixed race. British can mean Jamaican. British can mean Irish as well sometimes. If you was an Irish person raised in Britain, you can be British too. Even Indians. There's certain Indian people that come over here, had children in the UK, and now they are British Indian. They are raised with the same values as us, right? They're British Christians. I really hate the arrogance sometimes and the stubbornness of some of the EDL supporters. And they'll just look at me like another black male. I was raised with my mother, mixed race mother. She was raised by a white woman, an Irish woman, right? So she's very British. We're very British. We cook British food. We watch British stuff. We talk British. Are we not British because of the colour of our skin? No, I don't think so. This is a thing where we just need to understand each other and respect each other. We're in this together. We need to get Britain back to being great. Free Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson changed the game. He spoke out and he's standing up for Britain and he's standing up for us, the people. I don't believe Tommy Robinson is racist at all. Like, I've seen him speak on certain podcasts. He was on a podcast with Young Spray. I've seen him on other various podcasts. And I don't think he's racist one bit. I feel like he doesn't agree with Islam, and that's fair enough, because if you look into the book of Islam, there is a lot of radical ideologies saying you should chop the heads of non-believers. You should beat non-believers. Realistically, they want us dead, and that's not good. That's the radical people in Islam. In Islam, there's people that are peaceful. There is people that are calm. I don't even feel like I can speak like this freely without people taking offense. I would just like Britain to be great again and Britain to be a friendly place, a nice place for us to raise our kids. Without all the crime on the rise, without people getting pickpocketed, without people getting robbed, without our little ones in fear, without our females in fear. A lot of radical Muslims, they treat women like an object. I can have this wife, I can have this wife, I can take what I want. They believe in underage marriage and stuff like that, and that's not acceptable. Anything under the age of 18 is not acceptable. It's not consensual and it's not acceptable. So that's just something that I'm trying to get through to people. If you're going to come over here and enjoy England, you need to understand that. The women are to be left alone. The old people are to be left alone. You're not going to rob them. You're not going to touch them. You're going to leave them alone and respect them. I grew up in a time where you respect your elders. I grew up in a time where you look after the little kids and the vulnerable. I grew up in a time of morals and a fist fight. Not picking up a knife and putting it in somebody. Because any coward can pick up a knife and do that. Any coward can shoot somebody. It takes a real man to have a fight with somebody. Straightener. If you don't like me, let's have a fight. And that's just how I was raised. So yeah, as I said before, I've got a lot of brothers that are Christian, a lot of brothers that are Muslim. But if you actually look into the book of Islam, we can't be friends. As a Muslim man can't be friends with a Christian. You can be acquaintances and be cool, but you can't really be friends. That's a sad thought, to be honest. Because a lot of my boys are like Muslims. There's people in the UK that are struggling right now. There's old people without heating. There's homeless people on the street with no homes. There's people that can't get housing. But they're letting in immigrants into this country and allowing them to get housing first, putting them in 5-star hotels. I personally think it's just unacceptable. And I'm not the only one that feels like this. The world is a free world. It's a God-given blessing to be here. And in a real world, I would like to say everyone can be everywhere and everyone can be accepted. Britain is going to end up being an Islamic state. It's a Christian country. And it needs to remain a Christian country. If it doesn't remain a Christian country, we're going to become an Islamic state. It's going to be like the Middle East. And that's something that we don't want. Because if it comes like that, you see what happened to the Christians. In Congo, 70 Christians got beheaded. You see what happened in Egypt, 20 Christians got beheaded. 70 Christians found beheaded in church in DRC. As you can see, 70 Christians have been found beheaded in a church in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. What's the latest devastating attack on believers in the northeast in the country? At no point should you be killing someone for their beliefs, bro. So the radicals are crazy. And there was, of course, this situation here. Egyptian church claims the remains of the last 21 Christians martyred by Islamic State in Libya. You know what I mean? It's a very sad time to be alive, you know? And we've got to really stand up for this. That would wipe out our population and we would cease to be existing right now. The world wouldn't be what it would be. There would be no Christians. There would be no atheists. There would be no non-believers. You should be free to believe what you want. But it's not about pushing your religious views and your ideologies onto us, onto the public, onto the kids in school. It's not about that. Cool, teach and educate, there should be education, yeah, cool, but it's always been a Christian state and I believe Jesus is king. There's no reasonable excuse why you should want to chop off non-believers and Christians. It just is what it is at this point. You need to speak out and speak on certain topics because the world's in a dire state. You've got Keir Starmer stepping up and doing crazy stuff, locking up Tommy Robinson, taking the disability benefits off of vulnerable people that actually need their benefits and sending billions to Ukraine and sending billions to all these foreign countries and giving foreign aid everywhere. As you can see, the country's suffering, but look, Starmer announces 1.6 billion missile deal for Ukraine. The point is, this guy is giving away 1.6 billion, but he can't help the vulnerable. He's giving away 1.6 billion, but he can't help the old people. He can't help the homeless. Make it make sense. Why is Keir Starmer's government seeking to cut the benefits bill? Labour targeting sickness and disability benefits that have ballooned amid increasingly ageing and unwell population. He's just not stopping, man. He's just not stopping. Try looking after Britain first. Cool, if you're a peaceful person over here and you're respecting the boundaries and you're respecting the rules over here, you're fine and you deserve to be here just as much as the next man. If you're coming over here and causing havoc and spreading this ideology of chopping off heads, being with underage girls and stuff like that and doing all of that crazy shit, I'm never going to accept that. I'm going to protect the vulnerable. I'll do everything in my power to protect. Just the same way I protect my family now. I protect my mother. I protect my woman. I protect my children. That's the way it has to be. And if it's not that way, are you even a man? If you're not protecting your own, are you a man or are you a mouse? Yeah. Sorry guys, I didn't want to be too hype in this video, but it's just passion. One thing I'm going to say is free Tommy Robinson, of course, every time. Let him come out and let him speak his truth. Keir Starmer, let's get him out. We don't need Keir Starmer as Prime Minister anymore. He's mashing up everything, yeah? But Labour, definitely get out of it, because Labour's just mashing everything up, my people. Make it make sense. I am who I am and I can't change it. And I speak for all mixed race males. I speak for all the lower ethnicity males that was born and raised here and grew up in Britain. Because we never had a choice in being born where we was born and being what colour where we are. You know, just something to bear in mind and take in and have a think about, my people, man. If you like this video and the subjects that I touched on, make sure you leave a comment, a like and a subscribe and join the journey. I'm going to be dropping regular videos all the time. So peace and love every time. God bless.